Yo, YouTube, what's crack-a-lack-a-jack-a-smackin'? It's Wolfman for video, and welcome to the Thursdays Talk series, episode 6. So in this video, I'm gonna briefly discuss my NBA 2K15 wish list. Now they already started working on NBA 2K15. I mean, you've seen the new dunk animations, the new motion caps they've been trying to do. They're adding the nades to 2K15, one of the block moves. So they already started working on 2K15. So this is what I'd like to see from 2K15. First of all, starting with some basic stuff, they need to change the menu. NBA 2K13's menu and NBA 2K12's menu look way better than 2K14's menu. I'm sure that the gameplay counts and the in-game action counts, but you know, a book is also judged by its cover too. Let's be real here. And the menu for 2K14 next gen is just so bland. I mean, it's simple, but it's just boring. I mean, there's nothing going on. It feels like we're in like some type of last gen or something. Next thing is they need to add back the USA and the Dream Team. Now, me personally, I don't understand why these teams were not incorporated into 2K14, and I just think that's nonsense, but they need to bring him back. And the last thing for my first part is they need to change the NBA Today's presentation. I think it's a good idea, except the presentation just looks too old school. I mean, what are we, in the 1950s? We need some updated standings and make the screen bigger as well. So that's the thing I have to say about the menus and stuff. Now let's move on to my career. First of all, they need to make it less scripted. Everybody follows the same path. But then, is it really my career if we're following the same path as anybody else? I mean, if I'm following the same path as you, or Chris Smoove, or iPod King Carter, or anybody, that's not really my career. And we need a more variety of teams. I mean, it seems like everyone's going to the same team, getting traded to the same team. And I just think they need to fix that because the NBA is very different for everybody. It's not the same. So definitely make it unscripted. And if we do better than Jackson Ellis, we should get drafted higher than Jackson Ellis. Why am I getting drafted lower because I did better? That makes no sense. And I mean, this game just makes everybody not start for a couple of games, which is ridiculous. That's not going to be the same thing for everybody in the NBA. Now the next thing they need to do is they need to add back a practice mode and scrimmage mode. This did help with some people. I mean, I don't know why they took it out in the first place. I just don't understand how they make a game for next gen and they remove features from current gen. You know, I mean, the features that were on current gen, they remove it on next gen. That doesn't make any sense. That's just, I hate that logic. I hate when game developers do that because it's just nonsense. So they need to add back those modes, and they need to also add back the drills and the Legends camp. Now, I thought the Legends camp was a good idea because after the season, you know, you go to a Legends camp, and if you have some VC, you like to go to work with a legend, you get some more attribute boosts and stuff like that. I thought that was a great idea. But the drills, they really need to add the drills back because the drills were a good way just to, you know, get your attributes up. Another way for people to experience the game other than just playing, you know, my career games. I mean, that's all you do now. All you do is play my career games, then go to the next my career game. And sometimes you would get practices, but after the first season, you don't get any more practices. It's rarely a time where they send you to practice, so it's basically useless. And then again, all this is scripted, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even help you in the long run. Another thing they need to do is lower the cost of accessories. Yes, this is not a gameplay element, but I just think accessories are too expensive. I understand that the accessories that give attributes should be, you know, more expensive than the accessories that don't give attributes. But at the same time, an accessory is an accessory, and if you're in the NBA, then you can have an accessory if you want to. I mean, it's not like these players are paying like $10,000 for an accessory. Come on now, they're making about maybe $500,000 a year, $1 billion. So they definitely can afford these accessories. So the fact that, you know, in past 2Ks, like 2K12, 2K11, we were able to have any accessory we want, and we can have like a lot of accessories on at the same time. So I'd like to see them bring that back. Another thing, they need to add more customization to the My Career player itself. In this game, it was just too restrictive to some characters that they pre-made, and also the hairstyles could also need an update, because for an example, there's only 2 afros in the game, and that's a short afro, which doesn't even look like a short afro, and a long afro, which really isn't even that big of a long afro. Another thing they need to do is to fix the caps, because it seems like a lot of players, if you play the shooting guard position, it seems like everybody has the same cap, and the caps need to make sense. You know, if you're a shooting guard, you shouldn't be able to get a 95 post hook, 95 post fade, and yet my medium's capped at 90. They need to fix that, because that doesn't make any sense. They also need to fix the trade system and the stupid AI. And this is basically the computer. Now the computer just does some stupid things in the game sometimes. Unexcusable. So they need to fix the artificial intelligence and also the trade system, because sometimes you might get traded to a team that you shouldn't even be traded to. You request a team, and all the teams you requested, you don't even get sent to them. And this happens after a couple of times I've requested trades, and you know, I'm still getting sent to teams that I did not request. They also need to add a deeper story. I think adding a deeper story other than this plain boring story will add more replayability to My Career. It will create more longevity to My Career, and it will overall make it a better mode. Now let's move on to My GM quickly. My GM should allow you to control multiple teams, and it should allow you to support multiple players if you're playing offline multiplayer. Say if you're a brother or you have some friends that come over from time to time, they should allow that. Another thing is to add the trade override system, because sometimes the CPU does some dumb trades that you like to fix. And the thing with My Career is that once you start a season, there's no turning back in anything you do. You can't turn back. So I think they need to fix that as well, because we should have more flexibility to do what we want to do. The AI also needs to fix their defense and their awareness. Again, back to the same problems with the AI. It's always the AI, the AI, the AI. And another suggestion I have for My GM is to make it online, because let's be honest, the online league system in my NBA 2K14 is complete shit. That thing is fucking shit, man. That is the worst league I've seen. I mean, you can't even choose the difficulty. You can't set the freaking time. There's no fantasy draft. The freaking admins have no options. It's bare bones. It's just terrible. I give that online association mode an F, a 1 out of 10. It's horrible. So let's move on to online. They need to add cruise mode back. I don't know why they don't have it for next gen. They have it in current gen, which it's not really even cruise mode, but they don't even have it for next gen. So cruise mode is just irrelevant. I mean, come on now. They need to add more park animations. Like I know I said this before, that they're adding more park animations as we speak, but you know, I'm just reiterating what I said before. And they also need to do something with the park, because the park has glitched courts sometimes. They need to fix the glitching. They need to somehow find a way to reduce the wait times, because sometimes you're waiting for a match and it's too long. Sometimes you can't find the match. The whole concept is a good idea, it's just not executed properly. They also need to fix the 5 versus 5, because that's just a mess. They need to add classics teams to team up, because it's team up and it's not quick match. There's a difference. We should have all the teams available, including the All-Star team, Dream Team, and the USA team. They need to add all those teams to public team up and private team up. It's just team up, folks. Come on. And they also should add a practice mode. So anyways, YouTube, that's my wish list for NBA 2K15. Give me your thoughts, comment below, and I'm out. Peace.